Where did the name come from?
It started off being something, our old original bassist and Caleb, our guitarist, were just spitballing names, and it was one of those things where, like most bands, they were like, oh, let's just think of something cool. And first it was that, but then when we kept From Cities Above, people, every time we brought it up to somebody, they would say, or ask us if it was like a Christian band name, if we were a Christian band and stuff like that. And the way I started taking it was that it's like a really vague name, and it's kind of kept that way because we're all like idealistic people. We are really like open-minded and everything like that, and it's kind of like somewhat of a metaphor for you being allowed to believe whatever you want to believe, because that's, we're not the kind of people, we're not a Christian band by any means, but a lot of people who listen to our music are, and that's totally fine. It's just one of those things where it started off being something kind of just whatever, but then the more I thought about it, it meant a lot more than just that. So.
When you come into the studio, is all the writing finalized?
Normally, it wasn't this last song. These last couple songs we did, the way it normally goes is I write like 70% of the song, and then I record it in another studio and pre-pro it, and then Seth and Caleb add parts. But lately we've been tracking them, and Seth kind of jams the songs along the way.
How much does the music change from when you first come into the studio to whenever it's all done?
Oh, fuck. I'd say it changes like 100% because, well, for one, you can tell in all the songs these dudes have been recording since before I joined back in March. And, from then until now, almost a year, like, you can definitely tell the songs in general have changed. And then as far as changing in the studio, like he said, he knows 75–80% of how it's going to end up, but then we all add a little flair to it. So I know when we're adding vocals, we all do vocals, so usually it changes even more then. So.
And a lot of times when I write songs, I write in really weird patterns and time signatures and stuff like that, and I don't really fully realize it until we get here. So a lot of times just like the length of the song will change, or just small things that we figure out once we start recording. So I'd say, yeah, what he said, a ton of it changes when we take it to the studio, if not all.
Looking back on 2013, how has the band changed over the year?
So much. I guess only one member changed, but I guess two, because we don't have the bassist, and I came in March. Yeah, it's changed so much. It was when I came in, we started, got a little more serious. Started booking studio time right away and booking tours, and trying to play with more indie bands because we're not from indie. So I don't know. There's so many ways that it changed that I guess you would know more because of the fact I'm newer.
But to me, it just it amplified, because we had finally another member who started caring about it as much as we did, and then taking it as seriously. So with the tours already establishing that how much we mean business, and our want to play bigger, better shows and write bigger, better music, I'd say this year, if anything, has just taught us to be a bigger, more significant band.
Who have been some musical influences that have really influenced your career?
Oh, I know, he's ready to answer this one.
Yeah, for me, it's old school bands. My dad started taking me to shows when I was 10, and I was lucky they weren't radio rock shows. They were Ozfest or Poison the Well. I saw Every Time I Die, 18 Visions back in the day. He took me to see bands that were, at the time, hardcore to me, and not metal. And everyone else I knew grew up on metal. So I try to bring that to From Cities Above, since it's a metal band. I try to bring that, what I grew up knowing hardcore as, to the band. So bands like Poison the Well, Every Time I Die, 18 Visions. Hello.
Hi there. For me, I started getting into metal music when I was in around 6th grade or so. Caleb, our guitarist, He took me to a Killswitch Engage concert, and ever since then, and like jamming to old Under Oath on MTV2 and stuff like that, I'd say Killswitch Engage, Under Oath, and like As I Lay Dying were the big bands that got me into like metal music. As far as guitar playing goes, like I'd say I first started playing guitar because I wanted to play Red Hot Chili Peppers songs and stuff like that, but then it obviously got a lot heavier because that's the music I started picking up on. Yeah.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions as a band or personally?
As a band, we talked about wanting to tour a couple weeks at a time, multiple times next year, and finish this album. Should be out early in the year, and then we're going to do at least an EP in 2014. And then, personally, honestly, I want to lose some weight. I used to be a skinny little young buck, and now I'm packing them on. I don't know, be a better vocalist. I mean, I guess that's every year, but
I just want to kind of own in my craft more because this album's been over the span of like a year, and you can tell when you hear it like how much has changed from like the first songs that we wrote on it to now. Everything's just picked up a lot more, and I'm finally starting to learn more about myself and how I write, so hopefully I can like own in on that, maybe. That and a tour more, what he said.
What have been some of your favorite albums from 2013?
If I had to say our favorite, probably as a band, is probably the new Era CD. I would think that's kind of the mutual agreement. But I don't know, there were so many. I think, like, I'm not positive they all came out this year, but the Silverstein was glorious.
Yeah.
The New Day to Remember, I've had on repeat, believe it or not. I'd say those are probably my top three.
For me, let's see, definitely the Era CD is number one because it's so original and all the instrumentation just blows my mind. North Lane's new CD was really cool and original, and I really liked Devil Wears Prada's new album.
What keeps you making music?
Jeez.
That's a tough question. To me, I've done a lot of cool stuff in my life. I had a lot of different hobbies and dreams, I guess, but to me it's by far the funnest one. I mean, there's so many aspects. There's like, obviously meeting new people, getting to hear our favorite bands live when we play with them, you know, for free, which is cool. Seeing new places. I mean, we haven't played that many states, but to me it's not about really how many states we play. It's just about meeting new people from out of state, networking. I don't know, there's so many, there's probably the people, meeting new people is probably the best. Not that we meet 100 kids a night, but you know what I mean, just networking and meeting cool new people that think like us. It's pretty cool.
For me, like anything that happens to me when I'm sad, depressed, whatever, I've always been able to fix it by just sitting in my room and playing my guitar and writing music, whether it's like soft, just little jam stuff, or you know, heavy, whatever. That's always been kind of like my savior for me, and when that goes away, I won't want to do it, but that will never go away because that's my favorite thing. And the look on people's faces when we when we're rocking out on stage and everybody loves it and they can see we're having fun and it makes them have fun. There are zero feelings like it, and that's why it's the only thing I can see myself doing.
Better answer than mine.
What should the fans expect from the music?
It's really pretty. I like really melodic parts, and I've amped up my guitar playing times like 3 since the last CD, and all the rhythms are a lot more interesting and a lot more in your face, I'd say, than the last album. And I guess it's catchier, but mainly I think our sound is really original. Once we picked up Tyler with his vocals, because we were just strictly a metalcore band back in the EP, but now I feel like we have our own sound, and the best way I've always been able to describe the new sound is a groove sort of style. It grooves everything.
Groovy as fuck.
What is it like being in the indie local scene?
Bittersweet, I would say, if I just sum it up in one word.
It's hard for us. I feel like, every band has it hard. No band has it easy, but we live an hour away from literally everything. Any indie venue, any Terre Haute, everything, we're right smack dab in the middle of nowhere, and it's like an hour away. So we also don't have any real transportation. So whenever we play a show, it's normally 2 or 3 cars driving to that show, and that's each person paying gas money. And that also, since we're not like able to hang out with a lot of our friends around here, it's hard to keep it current. That's why we have to just push out new material. Tyler and I are always on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, because we can't see all the people up here that we're friends with and that we like to see and talk to, so that's how we stay in touch. And I feel like the distance is killer on us, but we're still.
My take on it is really cool, and it's complete bullshit. And I know I sound like a crybaby, but I know everyone says it, but every weekend it's the same bands and the same shows, which is cool. I mean, there's not 10,000 bands to choose from, I understand that, but it's like growing up in Greencastle was cool because it helped us be our own band. So as when everyone else is posting pictures of space and cats and all that shit just to gain fans, we're like doing it because we want to make it somewhere with it, and it's like, it's hard to do when we can't get on shows, or when we do, and granted, probably a lot of it's my fault for saying weird shit on stage, but it's like if people don't know us, a lot of times they won't watch us. And then other times we'll play, meet some new people that dig us, and the next time we play, we'll have, a substantially larger crowd than some of the other bands from the area. And so, I don't know, it's like, there's a lot of cool bands out there that do try to help us, and then there's the ones that it's like they don't care, which, I mean, not that they have to care, but I mean, it just makes it really hard, and it's something I think about every day. And like I said, I sound like a crybaby, I sound like a broken record, everyone says it, but it's just hard to do an hour away when everyone else is at each other's house every night after work and college or whatever, and then we're at home tweeting them, let's hang out soon, you know what I mean? Or let's play together soon, and everyone's like, hell yeah. But then when they get a show offer and all their friends are at their house, then it's, hey, we should go on the show together, you know what I mean? It's just a lot harder being an hour away, because like he said, all our money goes to recording or driving 3 cars at shows. So then when someone says come hang out, we can't, and then it's just like it's a big circle of crap. But it's cool overall. There's a lot of sweet bands. So
If you could say one thing to your fans, what would it be?
thanks for sticking with us. I mean, I know a lot of bands come and go from the indie area. Some people don't care about them going, some people freak out about them going for good reasons. And they've been a band for a while, and I grew up with them knowing how hard they were working and all that. So going back to what I said earlier about the fans and shows and all that, if it's 10 people that are all for us, keeping us going, like, that's cool. If there's 1,000, that's cool. But I just say thanks for sticking with us, because there's been a few changes. I know not everyone likes real heavy shit, not everyone likes pretty melodic stuff, but there's, like, when we released our last song, the single for the CD called Meandering, that it had like a lot of shares, and comparing to other bands from the indie area that get more support than us, like the first 24 hours, 48 hours, we had like the same, if not more, like shares and video plays and all that. And to us it was really cool because we didn't expect it. Like, everyone's, we'll share it when it comes out, and then everyone always, oh, I'm too busy, basically. But when we released that, like I said, like a couple hundred views overnight and stuff like that. So that was really cool that despite a lot of times me thinking people don't care, they prove that they do. So
I'd say personally that along the same lines, you know, it's really cool that people are still out there supporting us, if anything, but as it's going to sound cocky, and I don't mean it to, but I would say hop on the train, because we're not going to stop making music and we're not going to stop touring or anything like that. Like haven't had a bassist for like 4 months now, and we're still playing shows and we're getting people to fill in and everything like that. Like, we're going to keep going, you know, we're not going to stop.
Okay.
I'm Aaron Hunter, and I play guitar and sing in From Cities Above. And we hope you guys check out our new CD. It comes out in 2014.
and currently missing from the picture, there's Seth Miller on drums, Caleb Stodgel on second guitar, and the bassists are all different people. But I'm Tyler Vance. I sing From Cities Above. Stick with us. We appreciate it. Album's out soon.